Hum, hum, hum. Today we light the legal lantern. Today we light the legal lantern for all the legal sisters and brothers out there. You have been blessed by me, Eve, the legal lady. No. Do you feel it? You have been blessed by me, Eve, and Elwoods, by the legal lantern. You will now have a good year. If we get through this video without a fire, I frankly think the whole... Hello? Okay guys, so it's that time of year again. We are going back to school. Back to school vibes. All the study tubers are currently making content like this.
Alright, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go, go, go.
I thought to myself, what could I do? What content can I make that might be helpful for you? And I thought, you know what? It is time to do a big fat legal Q&A. If you're not following me on Instagram, then sorry, you could have been involved in this video and you're not, so go follow me on Instagram. You guys are crazy psychopaths. I put up 2 stories asking you for questions and it crashed my Instagram twice. But clearly there are a lot of raging legal questions that need to be answered. So I'm gonna do my very best to answer them all in this video. I'm gonna give you the real tea, the real scoop. I'm gonna put up a timeline here. These are all the timestamps for when I talk about certain topics in the video. So if you just want to skip through and find what you're interested in, you can do. If you also look at my pinned comment, I will also have some pinned time frames that you can just skip to the relevant ones. We have our legal lantern, we have Elwoods, we have me. What else do you want? Maybe Lord Denning. That would be really cool. I wonder if I can speak to his management. Whew, but guys, before we start, I have a very exciting announcement because this is, drumroll please, this is a sponsored video. We did it. We all know it's very rare for this channel to get any kind of monetization or sponsorship, but we have a sponsorship for this video and it is with the incredible Skillshare. Okay, let me just tell you a quick few things about Skillshare because it is very cool. They are basically an online learning community. They have over 25,000 different classes that you can take. So if you're wanting to learn anything like photography, filming, editing, I get questions from you guys all the time about how I edit my photos, how I edit my videos. You can go and learn all of those skills yourself on Skillshare. If you have a premium membership, you get unlimited access to all of their different classes. So if you want to take up a new hobby, if you're feeling a little bit creative this new academic year, I always talk about the importance of having hobbies and having extracurricular activities. Go and learn something new, go and learn a new language, go and learn a new skill. You can go and do that. Go change up your life a bit. I support that. So my favourite types of classes are the photography classes. My favourite one particularly is Fundamentals of DSLR Photography, mostly because I got a new camera and I kind of still don't know how to use it. So Skillshare is giving away a free 2-month unlimited access trial to my subscribers who click in the link in the description box. And after that, it's only around $10 a month. So guys, if you're interested in all and anything that I've talked about, make sure to go click the link in my description. Okay, let me just go through these questions. There are so many questions. You guys are honestly crazy people, and I kind of like it, I won't lie. Okay, first question. Do you think it is easier for you to get a job in law than anyone else? No, absolutely not. I'm guessing you're saying that because I have a platform or because I have a YouTube channel. When I was first applying to my first year schemes and my vacation schemes, I had like no subscribers. I didn't really have a YouTube channel. So I definitely don't think that me getting a job has like anything to do with like my YouTube channel. I've been state school educated all my life. I never knew a lawyer in my family. I struggled a lot all the way throughout secondary school to get any kind of legal work experience. I didn't get any. I didn't have any legal work experience to put on my personal statement. It's worth me addressing this quickly because I do get this question a lot about whether work experience is super important and super relevant to have on a personal statement or when you're applying to vacation schemes, training contracts. In my opinion, it's definitely not. I think what universities look for and what law firms look for are transferable skills. So if you have a job that shows that you have excellent communication skills or excellent teamwork skills, excellent leadership skills, then that is just as valid as any kind of work experience at a law firm. I would also really recommend trying to find like creative ways to get legal work experience. I know that it is so tough to like just have someone that you know that's a lawyer, and even if you know someone that's a lawyer, it's not always appropriate to ask to like shadow them for a week. So I would say get creative in how you can find your way into legal departments. For example, I put on my personal statement, this was like my biggest bit of work experience before I went to university. I went and worked at my local council, and within my local council they had a housing department, and then within the housing department they had an antisocial behaviour team, and I worked with them on some of their legal criminal matters. You definitely don't need to have like shadowed a judge or shadowed a barrister or anything like that. Just anything that shows that you have skills that would make you a good lawyer. Okay, next question. How many hours a day did you work at law school? If you're interested in kind of my everyday experience at law school, I really recommend going and watching my legal Q&A, which I recorded while I was at Bristol, and I talked about kind of like my day-to-day hours that I did. Okay, I've had quite a lot of questions from people saying why law, or that they can't quite decide on whether to study law. Okay, I'm gonna give two answers to this. I'm firstly gonna say why I chose to do law, and secondly, I'm gonna say why you should do law anyway, even if you're not sure about it. I chose to do law for two reasons. Firstly, I think it was a great combination of everything I loved in high school. So in high school, I loved history, I loved politics, I loved English, and so for me, law was a super good vocational subject I could do at university, which I thought I had like a good chance of enjoying. I did it also because when I was in high school, I went along to my local Crown Court. So in case you don't know, from the ages of about 14 upwards, you can go and sit in any of the public galleries of Crown Courts. So if you live in a town or a city that has a Crown Court, go in and watch the barristers, watch the judges, look at the process of what's happening. I remember going and watching the barristers in the Crown Court, and I was like, wow, that's incredible, they're so cool. They were arguing their points, they were using like Latin words, and I was like, that's what I want to do. The second part of that question is you can't decide on law. One thing I would say about law is it's such a safe bet for a degree. Like, granted, you do have to work quite hard, but like you don't have to work that much harder than other subjects, and to be honest, it is completely worth it because it's such an employable degree. It has a vocational endpoint. Okay, advice to first years. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, so if you're a first year law student watching this, or you're a second, you're a third year student watching this, whatever, I would say three things. I would say, firstly, don't forget about your social life. Don't forget that you're going to university not just for your subject, you're going to university for the whole experience. Go and get involved in extracurricular activities, go and get involved in societies. The second piece of advice I would give is get involved in your career as early as you possibly can. I would try and get involved in as many networking opportunities. If law firms are coming to campus, go and meet them. Go find out what your law society is doing. If there are open days going on at local law firms around you, if there are open days going on in London that you can apply to. My first ever contact with Linklaters was in their Pathfinder scheme. That's a first year specific scheme. Third thing I will say to first years is that you are gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make so many mistakes. It's gonna be overwhelming, but you just need to keep that resilience. First year is such a confusing year because you will be studying at intensities that you've never done before and in ways that you've not done before, and you'll be reading texts of words that you just don't understand. If you're stressed and you don't understand a concept, go and ask for help. Like, seriously, I can't believe it took me so long to go and ask for help. The first time I went and asked like a tutor for help was like maybe in the end of my second year or my third year. Okay, next question. Should I do the 6-month or the 12-month LPC? So the LPC is the legal practice course. That's what you do after you do your undergraduate degree or after you've done your GDL. What I would say is go and have a look at my LPC review that I did earlier on this summer. I kind of recap the main differences that I think there are between the 6-month and the 12-month. I did the 6-month LPC. That was because I had no choice. That's the one that Linklaters wanted me to do. I would say if you have the freedom, do the longer course, do the 12-month LPC. I do think it's a lot less stressful. I do think it's a lot less intense. Okay, someone said, I've just graduated and I don't have a TC and I am panicking. Okay, that's a very good question. The first thing I will say is that a lot of people are in your situation, so don't panic. There is still so much stuff that you can do. What I will say is make sure you're educating yourself on like what type of law you're interested in. Make sure you know what kind of firms you want to apply to. Make sure you're involved in as many legal networks as you can be. So aspiring solicitors, Bright Network. Keep applying. Definitely don't be down on yourself if you keep trying and you keep getting some rejections. It is a completely oversaturated job market, but you will get there, I promise. Just keep going. I would explore not just law, but like loads of different career paths for you. I know so many incredibly intelligent law graduates who are now thriving in a completely different career path, being hugely successful in that career path, and it's got nothing to do with law. So don't box yourself in. Okay, can you become a lawyer even if you don't have a law degree? Absolutely. If you do any kind of degree discipline, politics, history, English, science, maths, economics, whatever, you can convert that to a qualifying law degree doing the graduate diploma in law, which is often referred to as the GDL. The GDL is 1 year long. It's quite an intense year. You do like a whole law degree in 1 year, but it is a pretty good way to be able to convert your undergraduate degree into a qualifying law degree. Okay, how to make friends at university without the competition? Okay, that's a good question because I do think there is quite a lot of competition at university. There's no point in me kind of like lying about it. When I was at university, I did feel the pressure to perform, less so much academically, but it got quite competitive when people were applying to vacation schemes and when people were applying for training contracts. Some people would get an assessment center and some people wouldn't. Some people would get an interview, some people wouldn't, which can make friendships really difficult. What I will say is definitely don't have your only circle of friends at university being lawyers. I do have incredible friends that are lawyers, like Raina and Anushka are law students. I love them to pieces. But what I will say is make sure that you also have friendship groups outside of law. For example, I never lived with any lawyers because I liked coming away from university and then just like switching off and like not really thinking about law. Okay, someone has said, why are you doing corporate law? Is it for the money? So my honest response to that is no, it's not for the money, but then equally, I'm not gonna pretend I'm unaware of how much corporate lawyers can be paid. It's kind of like a weird balance. I remember when I first started in my first year, I was really unsure about what kind of law I was interested in. So I went to literally all sorts of open days, all sorts of events, heard from personal injury lawyers, criminal lawyers, corporate lawyers, and I was trying to like figure out which one I liked the most. The reason why I personally chose corporate law, and I realize this is gonna sound like some kind of interview answer, but we're gonna roll with it. The reason why I personally chose corporate law is because I like how fast-paced it is, I like how business-orientated it is, and I like how collaborative it is. They're three things that were really important to me. Will you be working on Jeffree Star's lawsuits? Jeffrey, call me up. Okay, A-levels and GCSEs. What did you do and what did you get? Firstly, it really doesn't matter which A-levels you take. What I would say is take the A-levels that you think you are gonna do best in because that's what universities are kind of looking for at the end of the day. Personally, I did chemistry, biology, English, and history. I loved science, but I didn't want to do science. I just kind of like loved science. I don't know if anyone can relate. Also, you definitely don't need to take law. I personally didn't do law, and you will learn all the law that you like need to know when you're at university. GCSEs, it literally doesn't even matter. I did drama at GCSE. I loved drama, but as I said before, do the subjects that you enjoy. That's probably what you're going to do best at, and beyond that, I really don't think universities care that much beyond the grades you get, which is kind of sad. They only want you for your grades, guys. Okay, what are your opinions on the SQE replacing the LPC? Great question. I think I'm gonna have to do a whole different video on this because I, at the moment, definitely don't know enough to kind of like be explaining it at all to you guys. Basically, you know, I just did the LPC. The Law Society of England and Wales is scrapping that and they're replacing it with the SQE, which is like a slightly different qualification. The way it works is quite different to the LPC. I definitely need to do my research here and I need to explain it to you guys because a lot of you will be affected if you're currently at law school. You probably won't be doing the LPC, you'll probably be doing the SQE, which is a different qualification. You might not have known that. Which subjects did you enjoy the most? I'm a huge corporate law nerd. I enjoyed company law, corporate law simulation, and corporate governance. But I also did really fun optional modules. I did medical law, I did like coursework on like surrogacy, euthanasia, abortion. I did comparative law, I looked at law in different jurisdictions. Okay, who was your favorite tutor at Bristol? Ooh. Definitely Rachel Campbell. Rachel Campbell taught me all of my favorite subjects. Maybe they were my favorite because she taught them. I literally think she's amazing. She taught me company law. She tutored me for my dissertation, so my final year research project, which had a corporate law focus. She taught me for corporate law simulation, which is a fantastic module at Bristol that she started by herself. If you're watching this, Rachel, which I don't think you are, you inspired me a lot to take this career path, so thank you very much. Okay guys, I think that brings us to the end of the legal Q&A. Let me bring it to an end. Oh, that is the end of today's legal Q&A. I'm very warm in this room. I feel like we rattled through those questions, and also this jumper has made me very hot, but you've got to rep the MCC merch, guys. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and that's all I have to say.
It doesn't come that easy anyway.